All right, good morning, everybody. Thank you all for showing up this morning. To officially welcome back Kelly Krauskopf as the President of Basketball Business Operations for the Indiana.
Hello everyone, and welcome back. I hope you're all having an amazing day. Today, I've got another exciting and highly interesting video for you. If you're a true Caitlin Clark fan, you're definitely going to want to watch this one all the way until the end. Before we get started, let me know you're part of the Clark Update Army by commenting CC 100% below. I always enjoy seeing so many passionate Clark fans in the comments. Now, without wasting any more time, let's jump straight into today's video. Professional basketball has suddenly changed in a way that almost nobody expected. For months, everyone has been talking about one name. While most people were focused on shooting percentages and player stats, one of the most influential figures in the sport was working behind the scenes on a much bigger and more carefully planned move. The league's front offices have reportedly been shaken by Kelly Krauskopf's recent decisions involving Caitlin Clark and Sophie Cunningham. For many years, the WNBA operated with certain limits and a slow approach to growth. But that era reportedly came to an end when Kelly Krauskopf chose to see the league as the driving force behind the WNBA's future instead of treating it like a secondary project. The reality behind that decision goes far beyond jersey sales and marketing. A major restructuring of how the game is managed has reportedly not been welcomed by everyone. For veterans who spent years helping build this league, the sudden change in direction feels like a slap in the face. From a business standpoint, however, the numbers tell a different story. Kelly Krauskopf reportedly believed that the Caitlin Clark phenomenon was more than just a passing trend. She reportedly saw billion-dollar potential, making stronger protection seem necessary. This was more than a simple suggestion or a light message to the WNBA's leadership. According to the claims, it changed how the game was promoted, officiated, and even presented. By choosing long-standing traditions over massive financial opportunities, Kelly Krauskopf reportedly left everyone else to decide where they fit in this new direction. When Caitlin Clark stepped onto the court as a professional for the first time, everyone expected there would be an adjustment period. What nobody expected was the level of physical play that seemed to follow her almost every game. The so-called "welcome to the league" moments began looking less like normal competition and more like unnecessary physical confrontations. From hard shoulder bumps at midcourt to flagrant fouls that reminded many fans of football-style tackles, the debate only continued to grow. If you're enjoying this content, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Believe it or not, more than 87% of viewers still haven't subscribed. It's completely free, takes only a second, and it truly helps support the channel. So have you subscribed yet? If you have, thank you so much for your support. Now, let's get back to the video. League officials were now facing a decision that many believe could shape the future of the sport for the next decade. After repeatedly watching Caitlin Clark get knocked to the floor during games, Kelly Krauskopf reportedly decided that the "let them play" mindset was no longer good for business. According to these claims, that decision effectively challenged veteran players who tried to establish themselves as enforcers against the rookie sensation. The issue has reportedly created serious division inside locker rooms because many players believe the rules are being adjusted in real time to protect one individual. At the same time, the television ratings help explain why that decision may have been made. Caitlin Clark's games reportedly attract audiences many times larger than regular matchups. From a business perspective, the league simply cannot afford to have its biggest attraction sidelined because of an injury caused by unnecessary physical play. This approach has significantly changed the pace of the game, making it faster, more focused on perimeter play, and higher scoring. Kelly Krauskopf has reportedly spent years helping shape that style of basketball within the WNBA. The tension eventually reached a breaking point during the player selection process, and many fans still haven't completely forgiven the league for what happened next. At first glance, it looked like a basketball decision that placed Caitlin Clark behind more experienced players in the pecking order. However, some industry insiders have suggested there may have been a much more calculated reason behind the decision. According to speculation, league leadership, influenced by several WNBA insiders, wanted her to remain in the United States. But why would they want the league's biggest star to stay away from the international stage? The answer, according to these claims, was simple: maintaining control and managing fatigue. By keeping Caitlin Clark in the United States, the league could reportedly reduce the risk of burnout before the most profitable stretch of the season, while also keeping full access to its biggest attraction. It was described as a carefully planned strategy that placed the league's financial success ahead of building an individual player's international legacy. This decision surprised many observers because it suggested that league officials were focused less on Caitlin Clark's natural career growth and more on maximizing every moment of her availability to support the league's new multi-billion-dollar television deal. The immediate reaction left many fans feeling disappointed, but from a business standpoint, the result was a refreshed superstar who returned to the court and continued breaking television and viewership records. Speaking of that television deal, the balance of power within the WNBA reportedly changed dramatically after the announcement of a new $2.2 billion media agreement. For many years, the WNBA was viewed as a league that often needed financial support to stay profitable. But as the Caitlin Clark effect reached its peak, Kelly Krauskopf reportedly used the league's surging viewership and rookie-driven momentum as key leverage during negotiations with Disney, NBC, and Amazon. According to these reports, the difficult reality for many inside the league was that traditional leadership took a back seat while Kelly Krauskopf stepped forward, presenting the WNBA as an important piece of a much larger global media strategy. That shift has reportedly led to more nationally televised games, improved production quality, and a move away from the league's former niche sports image. While the financial growth is expected to create better earning opportunities for players in the future, it has also brought much greater corporate attention. Every technical foul, controversial social media post, and locker room disagreement is now watched with the same level of attention often given to stars like LeBron James or Steph Curry. The league has entered a much bigger spotlight, and Kelly Krauskopf has reportedly made it clear that anyone unwilling to adapt to the league's new professional standards risks being left behind as the WNBA continues evolving into a major business asset. One of the biggest changes during this new era has been the league-wide move toward charter flights. For years, WNBA players dealt with the challenges of commercial travel, including crowded flights, long security lines, and frequent delays, while the league regularly pointed to costs as the main reason for not making changes. But as security concerns surrounding Caitlin Clark's growing popularity became regular headlines, Kelly Krauskopf and league officials reportedly changed course. By approving tens of millions of dollars for private travel, they effectively pushed teams to upgrade their operations almost overnight. Smaller market franchises reportedly struggled the most because they were not prepared for such a major increase in operating expenses. Even though the move represented a huge step forward for player health, safety, and convenience, many believed it also sent a much larger message. The WNBA no longer wanted to be viewed as a second-tier professional league. Kelly Krauskopf reportedly explained that if the league wanted to present itself as a top global sports brand, it needed to look like one, even if that meant investing money before seeing the full financial return. While that aggressive approach has become closely associated with Kelly Krauskopf's leadership style, it also represents one of the boldest and riskiest strategies ever attempted in women's professional sports. The most debated part of this vision, however, is the league's rapid expansion plan. Kelly Krauskopf's reported goal is not simply to maintain the WNBA, but to grow it as quickly as possible. With new franchises arriving in Portland, Toronto, and Golden State, many fans and analysts have started questioning whether expanding too quickly could reduce the overall level of competition. Current players also understand that future expansion drafts could break apart existing rosters and completely reshape the league's competitive balance. According to many observers, this aggressive expansion is directly connected to the desire to take full advantage of the Caitlin Clark era while the momentum remains at its highest. The league reportedly needs more games, more markets, more inventory, and more jerseys to sell. Many around the league were surprised to see the long-standing strategy of slow and careful expansion seemingly change once Caitlin Clark's jersey became one of the best-selling items in professional sports. With the business growing faster than the Players Association can reportedly keep up, many current players are now wondering what the next collective bargaining agreement will actually include. The league's internal culture has also reportedly been affected by how leadership has handled the ongoing rivalry and jealousy storylines. For years, the WNBA strongly promoted unity and sisterhood, but according to many observers, Kelly Krauskopf's team realized that controversy also attracts attention. Leaning into the rivalry between Caitlin Clark and other high-profile rookies, like Angel Reese, marked a major shift from the league's traditional marketing style. Instead of downplaying those storylines, the league has reportedly highlighted them to increase social media engagement, television ratings, and ticket sales. That change has created noticeable tension within the league, with some players feeling they are being portrayed as villains to help build the story around the league's newest superstar. At the same time, the level of fan engagement has reached heights the WNBA has never experienced before, and Kelly Krauskopf's reported strategy of embracing rivalry-driven marketing has produced results that few people could have imagined just a couple of years ago. As this latest series of decisions continues to unfold, league leadership has reportedly sent a clear message. The WNBA is no longer being treated as a development project. In today's high-stakes sports business, the old idea of slowly earning respect has increasingly been replaced by the reality of market value. According to many observers, Kelly Krauskopf's influence has pushed the league to mature at a pace that might normally have taken a decade, all within a single season. While those changes have brought obvious growing pains, they have also created enormous opportunities. At this point, many believe every major decision involving Caitlin Clark could shape the future direction of the league. There is no turning back. Whether fans enjoy this new direction or prefer the earlier days, when the league appeared more unified, today's difficult decisions are helping build a version of the WNBA that many believe could have an even greater cultural impact in the years ahead. According to these reports, Kelly Krauskopf's decision to protect what many see as the league's most valuable asset became the starting point for that transformation. The spotlight on the league has never been brighter. Even though some players remain frustrated and many inside the league continue debating these changes, the growing audience is impossible to ignore, and in the sports business, attention often drives everything else. Many believe these decisions will have lasting effects, especially if future generations begin viewing the WNBA as a realistic and financially rewarding career instead of simply a dream. The tension between longtime veterans and the league's younger stars is also expected to continue for years. If anything, league decision-making will likely become even stricter as the financial stakes continue to rise. Kelly Krauskopf has reportedly made her move, and now everyone connected to the game will have to adapt. Whether the league can continue chasing these ambitious goals while protecting its competitive integrity remains an open question. One thing, however, seems clear to many observers. The WNBA seen just 1 year ago has rapidly evolved into a faster-paced, higher-profile, and far more profitable league that appears to be only at the beginning of a much larger transformation. The decisions creating headlines today may ultimately become the foundation of changes that reshape women's basketball on a global scale. That leaves one major question. How far is league leadership willing to go to ensure the momentum surrounding the Caitlin Clark era continues? The changes in officiating alone have reportedly sparked strong reactions inside locker rooms across the league. Imagine spending years playing an extremely physical style of basketball, only to feel that overnight, even the slightest contact with a rookie is now more likely to be called a foul. According to these reports, Kelly Krauskopf delivered a very clear message: protect the shooter. While supporters say the philosophy applies to all skilled offensive players, many believe Caitlin Clark became the biggest example of that approach. League officials reportedly concluded that casual fans are not tuning in to watch constant physical battles. They want to see deep three-point shots, fast-paced offense, and exciting transition basketball. By encouraging tighter officiating, Kelly Krauskopf has reportedly pushed the WNBA toward a more offense-friendly style of play. Coaches who spent years building their teams around physical defense have described this shift as one of the biggest adjustments the league has faced in recent memory. Coaches who built their entire defensive identity around physical play suddenly had to abandon years of planning in just a matter of weeks. Just as surprising as the new approach itself was how quickly the league reportedly enforced it. According to these claims, referees who failed to follow the new emphasis on open and fast-paced basketball faced increased scrutiny, while those who embraced it were rewarded with more high-profile assignments. As a result, many players became increasingly suspicious. Some believed they could no longer defend Caitlin Clark physically without immediately drawing a whistle, leading them to feel the league was favoring its newest superstar. League officials, however, reportedly viewed the changes as a necessary step forward. Their belief was that a player capable of hitting shots from nearly 40 feet should not spend an entire game tied up in constant physical contact. Instead, they wanted her free to create the highlight plays that spread across social media. According to this viewpoint, Kelly Krauskopf understands that every spectacular Caitlin Clark shot brings even more attention and value to the league. But the price of that growth has reportedly been frustration among many of the league's best defensive players, who now feel their style of basketball is becoming outdated. Some critics argue that the WNBA is placing greater importance on entertainment than on traditional defensive basketball. According to reports about internal discussions, many longtime supporters viewed this as a major departure from the league's original identity. For years, the WNBA built its reputation on toughness, hard work, and earning every basket. Now, some believe the spotlight has shifted toward creating a bigger stage for the league's brightest stars. The younger generation, however, appears far more comfortable with that direction. Many of them embrace the entertainment aspect of the game and want to be part of a league that attracts massive audiences. Kelly Krauskopf's reported goal is to make the WNBA as exciting, professional, and globally appealing as possible. Because of these changes, many of the league's top defenders reportedly feel they are in a difficult position. They know that a hard foul on Caitlin Clark could lead to much more than free throws. It could trigger days of media coverage that paints them as the villain. That psychological pressure has become part of the league's changing environment. Rather than officially rewriting the rulebook, critics argue that the league is changing the game through perception and public attention. The growing belief is that the biggest stars receive a different level of protection. While this kind of evolution took decades in other professional sports, many observers believe the WNBA has experienced a similar transformation within a single season. Teams are now reportedly rethinking every part of their scouting reports. Should they continue relying on physical defense, or should they focus on simply outscoring their opponents? More and more organizations appear to be choosing the second option. According to many observers, this shift toward higher scoring games is exactly what television partners have been hoping for. Kelly Krauskopf has reportedly helped shape a version of the WNBA that better matches the fast-paced, offense-driven style preferred by today's media companies. The financial impact of that strategy could eventually be enormous. As league revenue continues to grow, many expect the salary cap to rise significantly as well. Some even believe that players who are criticizing these changes today could one day benefit from dramatically larger contracts because of the league's financial success. For now, however, the transition remains uncomfortable. Many veterans feel their reputation, identity, and style of play are being pushed aside as the league embraces a new era. According to many reports, the response from league leadership has made that message even clearer. The lines have been drawn, and the WNBA now appears to be moving forward with a very different vision for its future. Kelly Krauskopf's team has reportedly made its position clear. You either support the league's new vision or stand in the way of it. In the past, the WNBA's front office and its players were seen as working much more closely together. According to many observers, that approach has now been replaced by a more corporate style of leadership. The sense of collaboration has given way to a stronger business-focused mindset. Many believe the league feels it cannot afford to waste what may be a rare opportunity for major growth by allowing emotions to stand in the way of difficult decisions. That helps explain why the decisions surrounding Caitlin Clark surprised so many people. To many, they marked the end of the WNBA as a smaller player-driven league and the beginning of a new era where the league aims to become a major force in global sports media. The impact of that transformation is already being felt throughout the basketball world. International leagues are paying close attention, while more overseas players reportedly see the WNBA as an increasingly attractive destination because of the attention surrounding the Caitlin Clark era. At the same time, Caitlin Clark herself is carrying enormous pressure. According to many observers, she is no longer viewed as just another player. She has become the center of a much larger business movement. Every decision involving her is closely examined for possible bias, and every performance she delivers is analyzed from every possible angle. Despite all the debate, Kelly Krauskopf has reportedly remained committed to her vision. Many believe she understands that history will judge this period by how much the league evolved rather than by the frustration felt during the transition. The difficult reality is that professional sports are ultimately driven by business as much as competition. For what many believe is the first time in its history, the WNBA is operating with the mindset of a major sports business, and the results have attracted attention across the industry. According to this perspective, it took the arrival of a rookie from Iowa and a commissioner with a bold long-term vision to accelerate that transformation. Few people could have predicted how quickly the league's future would change. Even though the journey has been filled with controversial decisions that challenge the league's traditions, the game has become faster, the spotlight has grown brighter, and the stakes have never been higher. As the league continues moving forward, even bigger questions remain. How will the WNBA handle the next generational star? Will future players receive the same level of attention, protection, and promotion, or was this approach unique to Caitlin Clark? Meanwhile, competing leagues around the world continue watching closely as the WNBA's internal culture keeps evolving. One thing, however, appears increasingly clear. Rather than trying to catch up with the rest of the sports world, the WNBA now wants to set the pace. As the initial shock begins to fade, a new reality is taking shape where today's difficult decisions may become tomorrow's normal way of doing business. According to many observers, the league made the choices it believed were necessary not only to survive but to grow, and in doing so, it may have permanently changed the future of women's basketball. And that's a wrap for today's video. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. I truly appreciate your time and support. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the Clark Update, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss our latest WNBA news, breaking stories, and exclusive updates. We're on the road to 25,000 subscribers, and your support truly means everything to us. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below because I read as many comments as I can. Thanks again for watching. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next exciting video. Until then, take care.